me kind of get us up to speed where we are. This is my book, Destruction via the Mirror Image, right here, and that's what I'm reading out of right now. I'm on page, starting with page 10. So this is where we at, and I'm gonna keep going. So after wrapping up my time with Nahafa, I ran into a cool, laid-back brother named Alejandro Rodriguez, also known as A-Rod. Now, how was that for a nickname? He was an astronomer who had always loved the space frontier and always wanted to be involved with it to make a difference. He seemed like he wanted to be a hero no matter what the cost. A-Rod was a handsome, slick 24-year-old stud. He was an average-sized guy who seemed like a pretty boy. He told me that he was from Cuba, where he had studied astronomy. He had always enjoyed science-related field as trips as a kid and constellations and how they came about in our galaxy. He'd always wanted to see the galaxy firsthand. Also, A-Rod loved fiestas and having fun, since all his family were professionals at throwing parties. He and his family had a good time at parties. A-Rod knew how to dance and have a good time in front of others. It was just a typical thing for him to do to have fun. He also studied science forms, and for a third-year astronaut, he knew a great deal about things other than astronomy. He told me that there was a time for work and a time for play. Hey, I know I got work in his life to make. Hey, I know I got work in his life to make that dough, but I must get my boogie on, hombre, A-Rod said confidently. He always kept his perspective in mind. He always kept his perspective in mind. He was single and always looking for a flame to keep him hot. Nevertheless, nothing would ever substitute or get in the way of his work. Although he was not eager or in a rush to get married, he told me he was always searching for the right lady. Later that same day, I ran into what seemed to be a sexy slut in my view, Sarafoya Sarayova, the Slavic. She was a robotics queen of the voyage, and she knew many other things as well. She was a nice lady, but she had the personality of a gerbil. I realized that this is, by the way, she carried herself. This is how she carried herself. She had the type of body that any man would find attractive and take advantage of. She was a hot 24-year-old who was attractive in her own style and her own way. She looked professional, but she had other characteristics later to be revealed. She had a nice, flexible physique that was definitely approachable to any man, including me. She was really something to see. She was a breath of fresh air, the way she strutted with such confidence when she approached me. Also, she was great with computer technology and she knew how to fix things. She really shocked me with what she said she was capable of doing. She was young with all of this talent and knowledge and single too. Woo, woo. I still thought about the fact that she did not have a man. She claimed to have had bad luck with men. So she loved her work instead. She was sure to work. She was sure her work could be challenging at times, but it would never let her down. She had been an astronaut since she was 19, and she learned how to do new things every year. She hoped the voyage was a success and it could be something for her to tell future generations and siblings. She was so conceited about her work while she was in school that she never really gave boys a chance to talk to her. She was conceited and confident about her way of life. Sure enough, she could be flashy, but not too much, as if to tease anybody. Sophia and I would chit-chat while I was interviewing her, but I really just was trying to get to know her. Why are you questioning me so much? Like you are a detective and I need an alibi, she uttered. I just want to get to know my coworkers on the ship and their habits. I know what to expect, she answered quickly. What you do not know, you need to find out about, honey. But do not ask me directly. I'm not that type of lady, she proclaimed. It seemed that everybody who made the voyage who was not from America spoke good English and pronounced words like syllables well. Sophia did this and was quite fine with it too. I admit, she was probably the finest lady on the ship, but I already knew that. And she already knew that. And then there was me, Tevy Jenkins, the American from the ghetto slums of Los Angeles, California. The other American who had a completely complicated journey in life. I had problems in my past, but I've been blessed like others. Most people call me Tevy. I was a 28-year-old African-American male with courage and ability to think clearly. I was no psychic, but I did give great visions of things that might occur if I did not make the right decisions. I was a 6-foot-tall hustler type guy who wore loose clothing because I was determined to be comfortable. I was determined to be successful no matter how much the struggle and trouble I had to go through. Because to me, I had nothing to lose except my life. I did whatever it took to achieve a goal or mission. In my life, I had 4 children by 2 different women, and I was married to one of the women. I had trouble with education at my first because my concentration was bad, but then I finally finished school with the emphasis in biomedical engineering. Also, I managed to learn other technological aspects as well. I love math and always thought it would never fail me. I wanted to be the problem solver and the one who knew he could break the yoke. I would try to do more great things to make up for the bad things I had put myself through. One's life was not marked by how many things one did, but it seemed to me that it always helped. I could be a hacker if need be, if it benefit things in a good way. I was good with the computer, and although I was not into mechanics, I could fix things if pressured in a moment. Things did not work out with my first baby's mama because she did not believe in my dreams. She literally shot down my success and aspirations like I could be nothing but some lazy black man who was struggling all the time. She would say things like she thought she could see right through me, but she really did not know me. She always talked me down saying, "You would never be anything. You would never have anything to show being an astronaut." These people leave this planet and some don't come. Those people leave this planet and some people don't come back. Are you trying to get a Purple Heart or something? What's with you? Of course, I stood my ground firmly like a man would. I remember that she read a lot of stories about the history of the Columbia disaster that left shrapnel falling out of the air across the nation in Texas years ago. Furthermore, she thought I was not fit to be an astronaut. She thought I would be a gym teacher or a bodybuilder or maybe get a job at a computer technology company. She wanted me to get a job close to home, doing something else. She knew I had a great mind that could be useful for other things, and she knew I was in shape too. Nevertheless, I love to explore. In fact, I would look at the stars with my dad at night and watch them glow. My mom and dad would pick me up to see the stars when I was little. But I would not tell her little things because I would not tell her these things because I doubt she cared. I wanted to be somebody big, someone who would leave a mark that would be remembered by others for a long time. Just like A-Rod, I was into science fiction and horror as a child. I like watching movies like RoboCop and Friday the 13th. Also, in my leisure time, I love to do karate to release some stress. I was a very active astronaut who loved to be alert and aware of things. This being my rookie astronaut voyage, it was just a great experience for me. But enough about me. Let's not forget about Manuel Manny Pearson, the New Yorker who was the oldest astronaut on the voyage. All right. This is where I'm gonna cut off at. I'm gonna let you know about Manny on the next segment. You're listening to Destruction via the Mirror Image by Stanley Pitchford, the novelist. May, June 2020.